Hi, this is video number 1, part 1 of a 3-part series entitled What in the World is Going On, related to the book Higher Ground 0 Hour, available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Who amongst us isn't worried about the future and the safety of our family, friends, community, country, and the world at large? Can any of us really deny a sense that we're heading into a showdown with destiny? That the great cycles of life are about to sweep us into events which are in many ways beyond our control, except as it relates to our reaction to them? Do you have a feeling that this current generation is going to have to confront a confluence of man-made and/or natural disasters, just as all previous generations have, which will require feats of heroism and sacrifice to survive and overcome? Do you sometimes feel like the world has lost its spiritual footing? That what was good is now called evil, and what is evil is now called good? That the God so many throughout the millennium have believed in is now only paid lip service, with few actually in his service? That corruption seems to have reached new heights in all institutions, public, private, and religious. Close to 90% of Americans say they believe in God. Yet, that leads one to wonder, what exactly do they mean by God? When you look around, there's simply no denying that we are living in a culture that is almost upside down. To be profane, violent, and hateful is lauded in many circles. To be arrogant, prideful, and selfish is admired in many others. This is nothing new, some will point out, and they would be right. The question is, what direction are we headed when such depraved behavior is not only rewarded, but idolized? Some of these new role models talk about being God themselves, and their adoring followers help them amass great wealth. The cult of celebrity, in some instances, has taken the throne from the cult of decency. The concept of hard work and shared sacrifice has been replaced in many places by a sense of entitlement and focus on one's own social status, regardless of merit. A great number of heroes in today's culture are many times just the opposite of what we would have admired only 25 years ago. To be sure, this doesn't describe all Americans, but the numbers it does apply to are staggering. Are we in any sense prepared to face our uncertain future with grace, dignity, courage, determination, and hope for a better tomorrow? Or have we become a generation of sleepwalkers, more worried about material gain, social status, likes, shares, and favors, reality TV, celebrity, and creature comforts, disconnected from the lessons of history and the rise and fall of empires? Why does it always seem to take a major disaster or event resulting in tragic loss of human life before our attention is turned to the problem that actually created it, when it was possible to see it coming years in advance? In this political season, we're once again faced with trying to elect a president from a field of candidates, none of whom the majority of us likely already sense are up to the challenge. Either they represent the status quo, or they are campaigning as hugely anti-establishment, rightly tapping into our collective frustration with a government that only seems to continually make things worse. Regardless of campaign rhetoric and promises, we all know the president needs to work within a system and framework that is clearly broken. More wars, more military operations and spending, and a growing deficit is what both parties have left us with over the last 16 years. At some point, the American people need to demand that the system be reformed. 2% of the population now owns 40% of the country's wealth. But that's not actually the problem, as the average American doesn't begrudge someone else their success, as long as they can work hard themselves and provide for their own family. My name is Kurt D. Murray, and I recently published a book entitled Higher Ground 0 Hour, the first in a trilogy, under the pen name T.M. Carpenter, which can be found on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. I hope you will consider reading it. Thanks for listening to part 1 in the 3-part series of What in the World is Going On. Thank you.